Allama Iqbal Library held a one-day seminar on open access resources. The inaugural function was held in the Ibn Khaldun Auditorium. Librarian Allama Iqbal Library, Dr. Abdul Majid Baba, presented the welcome address.
You will be glad to know that our entry in the open access competition was one of the best. This competition was sponsored jointly by UNESCO and International Network for the Availability of Scientific Publications, INASP. Allama Iqbal Library, University of Kashmir, has been awarded the grant of $500, that is approximately rupees 26,000, for arranging awareness program about open access. Accordingly, we arranged today's seminar. We invited faculty members, librarians, scholars, and students of our university, faculty members of colleges, and other educational institutions.
Dr. Baba said that the open access resource has opened up new horizons for the researchers.
Open access to scientific articles means online access without charge to readers or libraries. Open access literature is available in open access journals, institutional repositories, digital archives, and so on. Open access journals provide access to full text contents of scholarly, peer-reviewed journals. Open access is not only confined to journals, but includes books as well. There are open libraries providing free access to new books, new articles, and so on. Open access has since become the subject of much discussion for researchers, academicians, librarians, administrators, funding agencies, government officials, commercial publishers.
Librarian, Islamic University of Science and Technology, Professor Wajih Ahmed Alvi, in his keynote address, said that digitization has come up with its own fragilities.
I remember when we were using these floppy diskettes. There was a floppy diskette drive in your CPU. But is there any floppy diskette drive now? Today we have got these CDs. How long can the CD live? Although many people talk about 100 years, some talk about 50 years, but it is all fragile technology. Then security is there, friends. Since data is online, the accessibility for it is global, so is the security threat. Any hacker will have access to the data as much as you have. What to do in such a situation? We talk in terms of putting this encryptions and strong password, etc., which we say that they may be offering some remedial measures, but not to that extent.
Registrar Professor Zafar Ahmed Rishi said that earlier aspersions were casted on open access journals, but now things have changed.
These journals were usually not indexed in the Web of Science. This was one of the difficulties. I mean, why shouldn't we basically publish? Because they were not indexed, isn't it? And initially they lacked the prestige that academics need from publishing. I mean, Nature may be having an impact factor of 32, but publishing in Nature basically brings a lot of prestige, isn't it? I mean, this is what basically scientists usually look for. They wish to publish in the most respected journals, isn't it? For not only for the purpose of doing good science, isn't it, but for the purpose of prestige as well. Now, second wave of OA journals consisted of established subscription journals, mainly owned by societies. Now, this was the transition from individuals to societies. Now, the individuals not basically publishing these open access journals. Now, the societies were publishing. And then you have two, CLO and G stage, whose hundreds of journals at no cost to the publishers. I mean, this is the second stage where few people came together and then formed a sort of a society, isn't it? And then started an open access journal.
In his presidential address, Vice Chancellor Professor Talat Ahmed said that university is proud to be the part of National Knowledge Network.
We are creating lots of facilities. You know that we are part of the National Knowledge Network. Okay? And Dr. Chitambram, the scientific advisor to the Government of India, was here for this. And we have very active EMMRC, where we have the e-resources and e-contents. So these are some of the very important things that the university is doing And definitely in the long run, they are going to have impact. As you all know, as I said, that there is going to be space crunch. Like earlier, there used to be hundreds of journals, now there are thousands. And books also, they are coming into thousands and lakhs. So you cannot have hard copy of books. All your library, all your space of the university or institution will fill up if you just go for hard copy of everything.
He suggested participants of the seminar to interact with each other and discuss things passionately.
And it is very important that the awareness has to come and people have to take interest. And it is not very casual, just come and attend. But if you are attending, you should participate, you should talk to each other, discuss and see what you do not know. There is nothing that you have to know everything. But to ignore that you do not know is the wrong thing, wrong approach. Any time in your life you can learn something new, there is no harm, okay, even if you have retired. Because learning is never going to complete. It is impossible for anybody to claim that he knows everything. It's impossible. So if you know everything of something, then you are an expert. And your approach should not be to know little of everything. You should know everything of at least something. Only then you can become expert.
Senior Assistant Librarian, Allama Iqbal Library, Mr. A.R. Lattu presented vote of thanks.
I, on behalf of Allama Iqbal Library, take immense pleasure in extending my sincere thanks to Professor Talat Ahmed, Honorable Vice Chancellor, for sparing time from valuable schedule to be with us at this occasion.